Hello and welcome back to the channel everyone. I hope that you all are well and you're having a nice time. I am back with another video, and in this one I'll run you through my team selection for FPL game week 32. That is obviously a blank game week, and I'm going to talk about how my team is looking like, if I'm going to use the free hit or not, because this is the popular game week for the free hit. Now looking at the team stats so far, I've got 0.4 million in the bank, 24 points. Ranks are obviously yet to be decided, but just to tell you verbally, I'm currently on 88k with a smaller red arrow because obviously some of the players in my teams haven't featured yet. I do hope if they feature, they bang, and that would obviously be helpful for the team. So before I start, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because that is obviously helpful for the channel. I currently have a smaller goal, and that is 750 subs. Obviously the ultimate aim is to reach the 1000 subs mark, but as for now, just help me reach 750 subs. As soon as the channel grows, it will be helpful for me to reach more and more audience, and that is what I am planning to do. So starting with the graphics and jumping in right into the graphics and starting with the goalkeeper, I am not using the free hit this week. I'm gonna just roll. I'll just roll with the team that I have, and the aim is to use the free hit in game week 34, and that is because I've missed out on some of the points, and now to gain that rank back, I would play a little differential, and I think that game week 34 could be potentially a bigger one with the free hit to just target the 11 doublers and go big in that game, just 10 or 9 doublers too, and go big in that game, because I think that would be obviously be a potential one. Now I'll just start talking about Raya. He's been exceptional so far with the amount of saves he'd made. He got 5 points last night, and it was Kepa who had 6. So a keeper who plays at home, obviously Aston Villa is a good attacking side, and I think that the probability of a clean sheet is not there, but obviously he's the kind of keeper that usually makes a lot of saves, and that is why I have faith in Raya. Now we look at the defenders, and as you can see, I've got Trippier and Botman. Now this Newcastle double up has been hurting me for a while. Obviously we don't play Botman enough, but when we do play Botman, things do not go our way. Now we saw how Aston Villa actually bashed Newcastle, and I am expecting a similar case versus Spurs too, because Newcastle have been struggling defensively in their current form. They have been pretty alright attackingly. They were obviously awful last night, but as for now, I think they are struggling with their defense. And obviously this is a home game. I forgot to change the Trippier Tottenham at home, so this is a home game for them. And Botman and Trippier, they both play at home versus Spurs, and with Harry Kane, Son, and the likes of Kulusevski, such an attacking side, and obviously they are back in form. Obviously they lost the game too, but their attacking rhythm is there, and they do score goals, and I fear for the double up that I have of Botman and Trippier. Trippier obviously for the attacking returns, but Botman, I do not have any hope from him. So Benmi also plays. He has got Aston Villa at home, obviously a Brentford double up. The shape of the team is not looking good so far, but this is how I'm gonna roll. I'll just let the team be, because I've tried to work out with the projected points. I do not seem to gain much points if I do play the free hit. So for the sake of 9 or 7 points, I wouldn't go play the chip. I would hold it, and I would play in the double game week. That is obviously the double game week 34. Now let's look at the midfielders. How is the midfield looking like? I've got 4 midfielders, just 2 of them playing and 2 of them blanking. Obviously just sit tight, I'll tell you what the transfer plans are. We'll work ourselves out of it. So Martinelli, he has Southampton at home, a good fixture, and then Maddison has potentially on paper a good fixture, but we've seen how bad Leicester are, and I do not expect Maddison to do anything as far as 3-pointers in this game. So this would be an awful game week for me as of now, apart from the fact that if I get the captaincy right and I do work out with the differential captain. Fernandes and Mitoma obviously blanking, but I have transfer plans, and I'll tell you how I'm gonna tackle this game week. Now we move on to the forwards, and as you can see, there's Watkins who's got Brentford at away, Haaland is blanking, then there is obviously Kane who has got Newcastle at away. So as of now, I've got 8 players. So the transfer plans obviously are to take out Fernandes, and I will tell you who I will go for in the transfer planner. So we'll move on to the transfer planner after this, but this is how the shape of the team is looking like. Obviously on the bench there are players that are blanking. So Watkins has got Brentford at away, and I've given him the armband just because of his good form, but I'm gonna see and assess how Martinelli does today. If he does good, I'm gonna give him the armband. So let me know if you guys would suggest me to go for the free hit, or just I've got 8 players, just a couple of transfers, and I'd be at 10 with a -4. So let me know if you would prefer that, or would you just go with the 9 players using the one free transfer and not worry about who plays who this week so much. So yeah, let's move on to the transfer planner and I'll show you what my plans are. So on your screens is the transfer planner, and as you can see, the similar 3-4-3 formation with Watkins with the armband, Martinelli with the vice captain, and there are 3 players blanking in my side. Obviously there are only 8 players that are going to feature, and the others have a potential blank. Now what I think I will do this week is take out Fernandes from my side and obviously take out McAllister. I'm gonna just sub him in. I'll sub him in later. So I would just go for Saka here and get Eze in for a -4, who has got a potential fixture versus Everton. So I could just bench him, and then I would potentially have, as you can see, I would potentially have 10 players to feature this week, and there are captaincy options too. One more captaincy option is Saka, so I'm gonna see how he does today. Obviously on paper he has tough fixture, but the only tough fixture as far as I see is Manchester City. Chelsea are, you know, proper shambles as of now. Newcastle defensively leaky, so I wouldn't think much if I want to go for Saka if he is back in good form. So that is the plan for now. I would still have 1.4 million in the bank. I would definitely not have the money to go for Salah, but as of now I'm thinking of going for Saka to complete that, you know, the double up that Arsenal has. And obviously in 34 I am planning to play the free hit, so there is obviously holding McAllister is of no use. I would definitely play the free hit and get the doublers back in, and McAllister wouldn't be the guy that I would bring in. That I would obviously go for the likes of March, who has much more creativity and much more attacking threat. So this is how the team would look like after the -4 that I would take and make two transfers and one with a hit. So if I would go with only one free transfer, it would obviously be the likes of Saka, who would come into my side, and Fernandes would go out. Hopefully Fernandes does well this week, and I would be sad to take him out, but yeah, we have to do what we gotta do. So let me know if you would suggest me to do this move or just go for the free hit. And as for the free hit, I do have a free hit draft. I do have a very differential free hit draft for you all. So let's just dive into it, and I'm gonna tell you what picks I'm gonna go for this week in case I was playing the free hit draft, free hit chip. So as you can see on your screens, the free hit is active, and the players that are already available in here are obviously Watkins and Kane. You can see the bench. I've placed Botman, Zuma, Douglas Lewis and Raya on the bench. In the free hit you wouldn't be needing your bench a lot, so obviously this isn't a bench boost, so just, you know, align the players as the way that you want them to be. I hope if there is obviously a rotation risk, if some of your players don't start, the bench players would obviously come in. So I wouldn't focus much on the bench. Obviously in just one game week there isn't much of a rotation, because most of the teams we're targeting are not in the European competition anymore, so obviously you do not have to worry about that. So as of now, for the goalkeepers, I've gone with John Stone as my main keeper, because I think Crystal Palace might be able to snatch away a clean sheet in this game. They have been you know, pretty unpredictable, but obviously they are a solid side. Obviously Guetta is missing, so John Stone is playing at the back, and I think that he's the kind of guy who can make a lot of saves if possible. But as of now, I think that there might be a clean sheet in this game with obviously a weaker Everton side. Raya is on the bench. He's got Aston Villa, so in case you want to play Raya, you can play him. Aston Villa are going to take a lot of shots, and obviously Raya has the ability to make a lot of saves, so you can play him too. There is one more option, and that is Ederson, but to be honest, my point on Ederson is that he doesn't make a lot of saves. So in case there is no clean sheet, it is, you know, the points are done and dusted, and you wouldn't see any more points from him. But with these cheap keepers, there are obviously safe points in the game. Watkins and Kane are the ones from my original draft. They stay in because I think they have got potential fixtures. Kane can hurt Newcastle, and similar has been the case with Watkins, who has been on a scoring spree for quite a while now. Now the third forward is none other than Solanke, who I think could be a differential. Now I would be focusing much more on the differentials here, because my team needs differentials, and I do hope that you are focusing on the differentials too. So I would go for, obviously there is a standard Jesus pick too, but I would go for Solanke. Things really depend upon how West Ham United plays today. If they do concede a lot of goals, if they do concede three goals, or, you know, 3 or 4 goals, I think Solanke can hurt them. He has been in good form, and Bournemouth has been scoring goals, and that has been pretty much the quality of Bournemouth and Solanke. So I think he can hurt West Ham United at home, and that is why I've gone for him. Just a cheap player with, you know, with the probability of higher points. Now we look at them. Now let's jump onto the midfielders. and obviously Salah is the first one that comes in, and at 12.8 he hasn't been value for money so far because he has been pretty inconsistent, but obviously the points have been there for him, and when he fires the points are pretty much something that a person wants from him. So at 12.8 he has got Nottingham Forest at home, a good potential fixture, and we do hope Salah fires for the ones that own him and for the ones that will bring him in for the for obviously the free hit that were a lot of players are using. So I'll just bring Martinelli back in. I forgot to bring him in. He stays in for face Southampton at home, and his partner in crime on the other wing comes Saka in. So Saka and Martinelli to face are depleted so Southampton side, who are probably gonna get relegated this season because they have conceded quite a lot of goals and they are not playing pretty well, so there is a higher probability of them relegating. And obviously it is pretty delightful to target the team that is playing a side in the relegation zone, because the chances of goals are there, chances of a lot of goals are there. So these are the three midfielders as you can see on your screen. Now as for the fourth midfielder, you can definitely go for Maddison, who's got Wolves at home, but obviously I do not fancy Maddison because he has been pretty awful so far, and to be honest, Wolves are a better side, and I do not think that it would be easier for Leicester to score against them, because they have I've been talking about Wolves a lot, and the reason to do that is because they have reformed under Lopetegui, and obviously we've seen Lopetegui has somewhat of a defensive masterclass, and he used to keep a lot of clean sheets at Sevilla too. Now we look at the other option, and that is obviously a differential. Now you can go for Olise too in this one, but I'd go for Eze because he was pretty fire in the previous game, and I do hope that his purple patch starts from that game and goes for 2 or 3 game weeks if you are bringing him in. And just for the free hit, we do hope that this could be the game where he fires some similar points like this week that he got 2. I think he got 2 goals versus I don't know who he was playing. I actually forgot who he was playing in the previous game. I have this problem of forgetting things a lot, but I do keep things in my phone. I do actually have this team open in my phone so I do not forget stuff. So Crystal Palace was obviously playing Southampton, and that has been pretty much the case for Crystal Palace, who has been a little bit unpredictable so far. So now coming back to the team. Now the 3 defenders are obviously, I haven't gone for Trippier because I think the double up of Newcastle hasn't been paying off for me so far, and what I've been expecting from Trippier, the attacking returns haven't been there. Now you can go for him because Spurs are defensively pretty weaker and they do concede goals, and obviously Trippier can be someone who can hurt them with free kicks and the crosses that he puts them in, a lot of crosses that he usually puts in. So for the differential, I'll go for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is being offered at 7.3 million, another player from Liverpool who hasn't been value for money, but just to go with the free hit and target the differentials, I think he could be a good one against Nottingham Forest, who obviously concedes a lot of goals. And now the rest of the 2 defenders are Mings, who has been pretty much among the clean sheets, and despite the fixture, if you look at the previous 7 fixtures, Aston Villa side has just conceded 2 goals, and that is a really good record. I mean, I don't know why alongside me most of the managers haven't just jumped for Mings. He has been pretty good, and there are some good fixtures to target in the upcoming game week. So if you want to transfer Mings in, I'd say you can go for him against the Fulham game or probably the Wolves game. Man United could be someone who could hurt them, but Brentford could be a potential game. You can see a clean sheet in that because Brentford didn't score yesterday too. So just you can get Mings in, but obviously if you want to go with someone else, there are a lot of options. And the last one would be, as I'm playing with the differentials, I'll just go with Ben White, and this would be pretty much my free hit team if I was to go with the differentials and a pretty differentials with some sense. So this would be my team. I've got Kane, Watkins the standard pick, Saka, Martinelli the standard picks, and obviously Salah, Eze, Solanke are the differentials. Alexander-Arnold might be someone a lot of people would go for in the free hit, and then obviously Mings, Ben White and John Stone are pretty much the similar kind of pick that a lot of people already have. Obviously not John Stone, sorry, my bad. Raya is the one, so you can play Raya if you want to, but there is obviously John Stone, who I have picked at 4.4 million, and I do think there would be a clean sheet in this game. So yeah, this is my free hit draft. So let me know what changes you could make. Let me know if you agree with my transfer plans, and please do subscribe to the channel. So I think this is pretty much it from my side. Thank you all for watching, and yeah, good luck for the game week.